4 years later, the Blazers call, I get a phone call. The Blazers call me again. I'm literally sitting on the beach in Tampa Bay or where I live. And they said, hey, our guy's sick again. Can you come fill in? We don't know how long he's going to be out, but he's out probably till after Christmas. This was 3 days before the start of the NBA season. And I said, I haven't been following the NBA at all. I don't know. I don't even know who's on the team anymore because it had been 4 years since I'd left Portland and retired in Florida. And they said, well, we want you to come fill in, and you know all the team, you know the players. Well, I only knew 3 guys. The rest of the team had changed. So I had to memorize names and numbers to get ready. But I ended up calling 35 games that year, including the playoffs at the end of the season. And I was asked to do all the road games. The play-by-play guy just couldn't fly. So he did the home games and I did the away games. And that was really pretty cool. The books thing, that was just me. I just always wondered what happened to those guys from Thornridge. Again, best team ever. Quinn Buckner was the high school athlete of the year, All-American in football and basketball. His senior year in football, he led his conference in scoring and did not play offense. Think about that. He played defense. He just picked off passes and ran them back for touchdowns, and that's how he led his conference in scoring. He was an incredible athlete. And I will tell you that, and I think I stated in the book, that when I saw Buckner in Portland in a media room, and I walked up to him and said, Buckner, Bonzik, Batts, Dunn, and Rose, the name of the starting 5. He goes, ooh, you must be from Illinois. And I said, yeah. I said, I was the captain of the Lincoln team that was ranked 2nd in the state behind you guys most of that year. I said, we'd kind of looked at you a little bit, and I think I would have guarded you if we had met you in the state championship game. We didn't get to because we got upset, but I think I would have guarded you. You probably would have kicked my butt. And he looked at me and he said, no, man, it looks to me like you could have played back in the day. And I said, well, I was 6'6", but I only weighed about 160 pounds. He goes, oh yeah, I'd have kicked your butt. He was 6'2" and about 230 pounds or 220 pounds. He was a stud. He was really something. But I've been really fortunate from that little boy who threw the wiffle ball up and called imaginary games in his front yard and his mom wondering what I was going to do, to calling games for Gonzaga and Oregon State and Washington State and University of Portland. One of my real dreams had been to call high school basketball state championship games, because in my era, watching the games on WGN or on a local affiliate here I think it was Channel 31 back. They aired the games, if I'm not mistaken, back then. One of my goals was to call state championship games. I even wanted to fly back to Illinois to call the games. I kept calling WGN to see if they would, hire me to come in from out of state. But it never happened. But I did get to do that for about 9 or 10 years, I think, in Oregon, and it was cool, because I still think high school sports is one of the most important times in a kid's life. And you make friendships, you learn about team stuff, that really aids you in life. But I've been very, very fortunate. Not everybody gets to live their dream, do their dream job, and to meet all their boyhood heroes. I got to play golf in a celebrity golf tournament 2 years in a row with Bob Gibson, who was my childhood hero. I mean, I was a terrible golfer, and he pointed that out to me. Bob was not a nice guy, it turns out. But very fortunate with that, and a very charmed life. It was right place, right time, who you know. You network, that's the same in all jobs, it seems like. But I did work at a dream job for 47 years, and very thankful for that. And I was able to write those 2 books after, both of them were written after I survived stage 3 colon cancer and emergency life-saving surgery in late 2008, just a month after my dad passed away here at Springfield, actually. I was stricken with just cramps, and I went to a doctor. He said, I think you just are going to pass a stone or something. And 2 days later, I went to the emergency room. They took me right in and said, we're gonna take you first. And it was Christmas weekend, so the emergency room was completely full. And they took me into the front of the line. I got a CAT scan, and they brought me out, wheeled me back to the ER, and said, I'm sorry, but you have classic colon cancer. The surgeon is on his way in, and you will have surgery as soon as he arrives. So that was a life-changing moment. It did save my life, though. They took out about a third of my insides, and then 6 months of chemo later. But it was while I was sitting there getting my chemotherapy that I transcribed all of the interviews that ended up becoming the Thornridge book. That book wouldn't have been written. The Illinois High School Association was ecstatic when I wrote this book, and it was back in 2009, I guess, when I wrote it. And they were thrilled to have it. It's just a really cool history of the greatest team ever. And as far as, it's the best I ever saw. But I've been truly blessed. So thanks for listening to me ramble on and on. My thanks to Mike, Jim, the Farm Bureau, all of you for having me today. And congrats to all the scholarship winners. You should be very proud of yourself, and good luck in life. Wish you well. Thank you very much.